Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, a.k.a. Tony. I'm in the building here with some of my nearest and dearest, mi amigos, mi hermanos, however you want to say it. What happened? You don't like that, Pooch?
Hermanos?
Hermanos.
That's not how you say it? Hermanos?
It's
Like drawn out with a little bit of S at the end of it?
It's H-E-R.
Hermanos.
You want me to say
Hermanos.
hermanos? No,
Hermanos would be how the white people would say it.
Anyways, I got my dog, master editor, master of currency, the big CFO himself. My dog Pucho's in the building.
I'll take the CTO title. Okay. I'm a technical man,
Oh,
not a
you want
financial
CTO?
man.
Okay.
Are you taking his withdrawler status away from him? Is he bestowing it on you?
I'm bestowing it on Pucho.
I'm just trying to put finance on me. That's just crazy.
It's because we're in
Also,
Rud.
You called me. Did you say master of coin? I don't know. I got little
Master
finger
of
vibes.
currency. Yeah,
Master
yeah.
of currency. See, I'm thinking
Game of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones shit. I'm like, this guy's disrespecting me with this
Nah,
little
man.
finger talk.
Nah, never that. Even though he was a very interesting character, I think, in Game of Thrones. But also in the building, got my dog, the editor, the green thumb, the one without a gun, my dog Mateo.
Tony, did you know that you're not supposed to wash your hands when there's lightning outside?
Who the fuck said that?
I was reading a thing the other day. I want to say it was like the CDC or someone that like put out this notice about like things you shouldn't do in a thunderstorm. And it was basically like everything. Like it even said like don't go near windows, don't wash your hands, don't shower, don't use computers, don't use electronic devices that are plugged in.
I heard about the shower.
That sounds like some kind of propaganda being pushed on you by them two white girls that don't wash their hands. Talking about they're talking about how dare you touch your dick and wash your hands? Do you have a dirty dick?
shit.
with the most intense Boston Cape Cod accent you could ever think of.
That Boston accent was intense. That Boston
Oh my
accent
God.
like Old Bay seasoning.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
They
thick.
had some real Cape Cod energy.
Yeah,
also in the building,
makes a lot of sense.
last but not least, got my dog DJ Doey Fresh, the one to turn to, Lacoste himself, Mr. Moomin Rider, Mr. I have all the bikes,
Only have one bike.
Doey in the building.
What's up, guys?
Some
you
would
have
say
two
one
bikes?
bike is all you need.
I thought you had two bikes.
No, I gave my uncle bought my other bike from me.
Oh wow.
So he's riding up and down Bear Mountain. He's got a bike rack for it. He's so fucking happy.
What's Bear Mountain? Is that a street or something?
It's like up the block. It's like upstate New York. They have like mountains and stuff like
Oh,
that.
trails. They have trails.
Catskills and stuff like that. There's a lot of nature parks, stuff like that. National parks.
In the city?
No, like
Up
very
north?
short. Like you have to drive like an hour, but yeah.
Oh, damn. It's always funny because I got a buddy that lives in New York, but he lives like he said he lives
Upstate.
like 2 hours away. Yeah, upstate. I
Oh, so
thought
he's like Albany.
yeah. I thought upstate was like not that far, but apparently it's pretty fucking
Dude,
far.
the state of New York is like gigantic. It's
People
almost
call
like Florida.
everything once you get north of like Nyack or something.
Yeah.
That's like the little suburbs above New York City. They just say, "Oh, everything's upstate." You're upstate now.
That's how I
even though
always
that
heard
shit is, even though you're like a stone's throw from the city, it's like you're upstate, and then it stretches for like 100. So like it's big. It goes all the way to Canada. Like
Yeah, Buffalo is over 5 hour drive. People take a from New York City. People take a airplane to Buffalo.
That's insane.
Yeah, but it's kind of like Florida, I guess. You could take like a plane from Miami to Tampa, right?
No one ever does that.
No,
I think that's more unlikely than it is with you guys going to drive there. Probably.
I have a coworker that We've been working remote since the pandemic started. He flies from Miami to Orlando because he still lives in Miami. Occasionally, he'll be like, I gotta go into the office this week. All right, he flies into Orlando. He said it's cheaper and about as long.
I was gonna say, how long is that drive?
It's like 2.5. Well, no, Miami's like
No.
three
No,
and a
it's like
half,
3
almost
and
4
add
hours.
an extra hour.
Yeah, and you're
for
talking like
sure.
an hour through security at the airport, plus landing 30 minutes in the air or something. Yeah, that seems worth it.
Yeah, and he's saying you could find flights. He's like, it beats even the gas. Just how cheap he flies Frontier and shit. So it'll be
dude.
cheap.
Yeah.
So there's
he's
people
pay-
that do it. There's people that do it. I guess.
He's paying like $10 a flight. He probably gets a punch card. The 10th flight is free.
They're paying him to fly.
He's probably got that damn Amex card where you give points.
Tony, why is West Palm Beach on the east side of Florida?
That's the best side of Florida. Southern east. Eastern,
You
southern
don't
side.
understand the question.
Why isn't it Southeast Palm Beach then?
Like East Palm
Oh, okay, yes. I get what you mean. Wow, that went over my head.
Beach. Only God fucking knows. I actually don't. I've never wanted to know why it was called West Palm.
You know, I didn't know that it was on the east side of the island, even though I've been there, until like 30 minutes ago when I was looking at the hurricane path.
Dead ass?
Dead ass.
I wonder if it's because the frame of reference is from people like sea voyagers were like, yo, the palms are on the west. Like west of us, even though it's on the east of the state. I don't know.
Could be.
Huh.
How y'all
Anyway,
holding up
Sonny,
with that
I did
hurricane?
want to say that you landed on a very good nickname for Mateo. You kind of fumbled it a little bit, but you should write it down. I like the Texan one without a gun. It's a good one.
You like that
That
one?
you need to keep. Yeah. Now
like
it's
that.
like that's the first nickname that you hit. I
Literally,
think.
that was
So-
that's a sticker. That's a sticker for him.
Yeah, we should put it in the bag. It's part of Mateo's names.
It's a good one. Store it. How y'all holding up with this hurricane, man?
Waiting.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's been a hell of a fucking day. Like, most of my guys are complaining about even coming to work today, and then they're saying like, "Yo, like I live in Homestead and I live in Miami. Like it's already flooded. My kids are not in school tomorrow. Like, do I seriously got to come into work?" I was like, for the most part, yeah. You know, like they're saying that it's treated like a normal day. He's like, but there's nothing fucking normal about it. I'm like, if you gotta take care of your family, take care of your family, man. No one's gonna get mad. I'm not gonna get mad. You know what I mean? But sucks, man. A lot of places are like kind of don't care about it. I guess they're just. It's also too probably because they're the veterans in Florida. Like, cause I'm a vet in Florida, so I'm used to hurricanes. Andrew, that fucking all those hurricanes. Like, we had what? Me and Pucho even went through it, and Doughboy too. We did like what? 2 hurricanes back to back week, right? And then the third one came like a month later or some shit like that. That one year.
Damn.
So, and they were big hurricanes, 4, almost a 5. Like, these are some big dogs. You know what I'm saying? I had fucking trees in front of my house. We couldn't move our fucking cars. Light was out for a month or so. So this like little, right now it's a tropical storm. No, it's not. It's a category 3 right now. And it's hitting the west side. Hope everybody on the west side's good, bro. Like, y'all gonna go through it.
They
So-
gotta evacuate. Actually.
Yeah.
Like they evacuated Tampa and a couple other cities on the west coast.
Sarasota is under evacuation. Yeah, so I mean,
You hope they're not. You hope they're safe elsewhere.
Yeah.
They're not over there, dude.
because that shit right now is probably getting fucked right now. But we're gonna get hit too. People are saying that it's going more north. It's not gonna hit us on the east side. My bro, this hurricane can do a 360. We seen it that one year. Fucking hurricane turned to the 360, straight fucking whoopty whopping out the bando, and bomb. Got fucked. You know what I mean? You don't like the whooping out the bando. You don't like that.
You don't even know. You just made up. You don't even know what you
Just
did.
put mad words together. Made it sound right.
Oopty woppty out the bando.
Out the bando.
You know what makes me sick is that Pucho. For as long as I've known this fucking guy, right? I love this guy. People might think that because me and Pucho argue with so much heat or debate with so much heat that we hate each other. We probably do at the moment, but at the end of the day, this motherfucker knows all my tactics, and I fucking hate him for it. Hate him. I can't get nothing by this guy.
You know what makes me sick, Tony?
What?
When
Tell me.
people haven't hit that subscribe button.
That's a
And
fact.
subscribe to our damn channel.
That's
We're
a
on
fact.
all social media platforms. We're on everywhere you want to listen to podcasts. So for that P word that we don't say anymore.
Yeah, we don't say that no more. Don't even
So
bring it
like,
up.
subscribe, do all that shit. You know what to do.
For the person eating there's chicken Caesar salad,
Jesus.
we love you.
Christ. This man's out of control, though. You're out of control. By the way, I like that shirt. The little alligator on your shirt.
Thank you. Thank you. I copped a multitude of Lacoste.
Is it a crocodile?
It is an alligator.
I see what you did there.
That's a good Izod shirt.
Yeah, for
Very
real.
nice.
I actually
eyes,
saw a video of a fucking insane man. There was a boat in like a little swampy area, and there's a fucking crocodile or alligator, whatever. One of these lizard water things that you don't want to be in near anywhere. He's just chilling by the boat, this thing. And the guy goes, he just walks in the water, and he just starts hand cleaning his boat. And he's like 4 feet from this alligator. And I'm like, it was on our What the Fuck on Reddit. I'm like, this guy is about to die. And then the video cut. But I want to know, what the fuck was that guy thinking? Was he trying to prove something?
I don't know that there is any amount of money that would get me to walk through a swamp.
Correct. I'm in your camp. I want nothing to do with snakes. I want nothing to do with alligators. I want nothing to do with any kind of insane water creatures that are going to try to murder me. You know?
Today I was leaned up against the wall in New York, smoking a joint, just chilling, and a fucking huge cockroach. And I see this shit, and I said, so I know if, and dude, after that, it was like a million cockroaches were on me. So I had to swat it, and I got it off of me, but it wasn't the end. I was like, I needed to take all my clothes off just to make sure there were no more cockroaches on me.
This was out in public?
Yeah. I was just leaning up against the
And
wall.
you took your shirt off?
No, no. I just was, icky afterwards. So I know if I can.
What do you think, Booch? You think he's at an Are You Randy concert or something? He's just going to take his shirt off in public?
He's the guy doing breakdancing moves, the only guy at the Are You Randy concert? Yeah. No, the fucking feeling of having like a roach on you, that fear that you get in your heart afterwards, that you're like, every little tickle that your clothes have given you that you always just ignore, now it's like, that's a cockroach and you gotta like fight to the death to get it off.
No, it's worse.
It's really just a little bug that it's not that serious if it touches. I mean, it's kind of gross because they're filthy creatures, but you know what I mean? The reaction, I think, is unwarranted.
That's worse than the walking through a spider web. That shit I hate. I don't mind a cockroach like crawl. I'll flick that shit off. But a spider web,
and like cussing, you're like, oh.
bro. As soon as you walk through, there's a spider on you. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. There's a spider on you, bro.
I'll take
All
a spider
day.
web over a cockroach any day, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah.
Hell no. You flick that shit off, you know that shit's gone. You run into a
what if-
spider web, you don't know if you got a fucking spider on you.
What do you
It's
think
just-
spider web really is? If you were a spider,
Spider
the shit's
cum.
coming out your ass, right? It's something that your ass is producing.
that spider come?
Spider cum.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what they hinted at in like the what is that, Tobey Maguire, the Spider-Man movie? He's there just webbing everything in his room after he goes through like his second puberty as Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's funny.
That's just disgusting. I wouldn't want to be a spider if I had to choose an animal. I would not want to be a spider.
Yeah, you'd be a giraffe.
No.
I like the little they dropped that little tidbit in the latest Spider-Man movie where, because the other two Spider-Man, they use like cartridges. They don't have just webs that come out of their body, and for whatever reason, Sony made the Tobey Maguire movies where his body produces the web. It like comes out of his wrist or some shit, and they were like, "Wait, it just comes right out of your body?" Like, yeah, I thought it was funny. I wanted them to
Andrew
take it
Garfield
further.
Spider-Man is disgusted by it. The face he's making is fucking great.
I always find that odd. Why they get away from that? Like why they made it in cartridges and not just out of their body? Because he got bit by the spider, so it's like his body changed. I always found it weird. Like why
he gets the physical abilities of a spider, but he doesn't get the ability to produce webs. At least the original Spider-Man. I don't even remember if he could walk on walls with his hands. I don't know if that's something that he puts into his suit.
How does he still walk on the walls with his feet when they're in that costume? These are important questions. How come he didn't get 8 eyes all of a sudden? I would watch that Spider-Man movie.
Was there an 8-eye Spider-Man movie that I missed?
Don't spiders have a bunch of eyes?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said it
Spiders
was
have a bunch of eyes. They have 8 legs.
Oh, maybe they don't have 8 eyes. They have multiple eyes. They
Oh, they have
probably
a lot
only
of
have 2
eyes.
eyes.
No, I think they got a lot of eyes sometimes.
Anyways, yeah, fucking. What about you guys? What are you doing to prepare for the hurricane, Pooh?
Yeah, just putting shit away around the house.
Y'all don't board up the windows? Is that all just like movie bullshit of boarding up the windows and things like that?
Yeah, you board up the windows.
I have.
Okay.
We're
It's
not.
just because it's not hitting you guys. Like if that shit was hitting you guys, you'd be boarding up your windows.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean,
Usually
it's just-
you have shutters and you drop the shutters down.
Gotcha.
drop.
I don't know about usually, but he's talking about those cribs that have like those
the accordions.
I don't know what no, not those. It's like a house. They have like a awning over the windows.
Oh, those
and it
weak
has,
dicks
like,
that fold.
Exactly. No, that's not
no.
usual. But it's
What?
a thing that people have.
Bro, you could break that shit with a log. Imagine what a hurricane would do, bro. That shit would not survive.
Who the fuck's walking around with a log?
Just saying what you can break it with. Shit's is weak.
Tony, how many of those you broken with a log in your life?
Just saying those. I'm just
you had
giving you
a-
very. Go ahead.
400-pound log, you could break it.
Who says 400 logs weigh 400
If you had a
pounds?
sledgehammer, you could break anything.
An
Could
axe,
get-
it'll go right through that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That shit is. I'm just showing you how
When
weak
you're
that
committing
aluminum shit is.
asymmetrical warfare on a shutter, you're gonna be able to break it.
I don't know. Not if it's a good one.
But
Those
yeah,
are-
we board up windows. We have there's different types of shutters. I remember one year we got these transparent, like these like kind of plastic shutters. That are
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they're like a hard. I don't know. There's some hard material that like nothing's breaking this plastic unless it's like dramatic, like a whole tree landing on your window, which then you got other problems regardless. But it was cool because then your house has sunlight. And usually when you board up your house is pitch black.
I
And that
love
sucks
that.
is you don't have electricity. So it's like
Oh, that sounds miserable.
Hell no, bro. That pitch black is great. You fall asleep. You wait. You don't even know what time it is during the day. Shit's fantastic. As a kid, bitch, I slept till the afternoon thinking it was midnight. Shit was fantastic. The days went by quick when you ain't had shit to do. All your friends are locked up in the crib. I just passed out because I'm here thinking it's 2 a.m. Fantastic.
I had a blast during the hurricane, yo. Every single kid in the whole neighborhood was in the streets playing games. It was fire, yo.
Yep.
I was not in my house, in my hot ass Florida home at noon.
Well, not
taking a
during
nap.
the hurricane. I was kind of outside during the hurricane, just like kind of checking it out if I could. But like after the hurricane, I was definitely outside.
And you tripping, dude. You're outside during. That's how people die.
Nah, during
no,
the
no, I'm
eye. He
just-
was out during the eye, I bet.
Yeah,
Right?
I
How do you
went
know? He
outside.
just said he was out during the hurricane. Now you flipping into he was out during
I'm just
the eye.
saying, you'll open the door and look outside. That's what I'm talking
No,
about.
you're
Like,
an
you
idiot.
shouldn't
Don't
do
do
that.
that. You
Yeah,
shouldn't
don't
do that at
fucking
all.
do
You let that gust of wind in, they'll fucking blow your whole fucking roof off. Don't.
Yeah,
that's
category 4. It's like 130-mile-an-hour winds. He's like, he can't fucking close the door.
The door flies off down the street.
crazy. Fuck, dude. Yeah, you'll be fucked. But not during the eye. I went out during the eye. It's beautiful, beautiful sunny day in the eye. Shit's fucking amazing. Then you look down the street, it's fucking chaos. The shit is mind-boggling. It's like fucked. But, yeah, no, hurricanes is fun as a kid. As an adult, that shit sucks. Definitely sucks.
If only you had your Steam Deck boot, you'd be all set.
I know it's supposed to get here on Thursday, and the hurricane's supposed to get here on Thursday. So I doubt the post office is going to be delivering anything on
Yeah,
Thursday.
you're not receiving that shit.
Bummed out about that
Damn.
one.
The post office says neither rain nor sleet nor snow.
Yeah, shit. Anything over 45 miles per hour is unsafe to drive in, just because you could get fucking knocked over by the wind. Shit's fucking hurricane.
Nah, that sounds scary, man. Y'all stay safe out there.
Oh, 100%. I know, Doe, didn't you do I think, was it on your IG that you posted that you went for another bike ride or some shit? Or was that the same one that you mentioned?
Oh, okay, yeah. Like I went on a social cycling last week. It was nice. I went over the Williamsburg Bridge, and then I bombed down the bridge. I was going like 30. It was exciting, exhilarating,
Shit is crazy.
and I got very scared at the end because I almost fucking fucked. I almost fucking wiped out at the end. But all things considered, a lot of fun. Met some cool people. A guy named Woody watched my bike for me as I went into the supermarket and got beer. And cool guy. Thank you, Woody. And then I got a nail in my tire, like a screw in my tire. It was fucking sucked.
Welcome to the life of a cager. Do you have backup tires on your book bag? In your book
No,
bag?
I had to take a Uber home. A Uber XL. I tossed my bike in the back.
A real cyclist would have had a spare tire, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. With the
Never
pump.
done a real cyclist.
So, exciting news. I just got a shipping update.
Oh, boy.
Apparently, they're going ham to deliver whatever packages they got, and I'm supposed to get this tomorrow morning now.
Yes! Yes!
So it said before
Ooh.
1 o'clock, my Steam Deck should be here.
That's
so.
a fucking win. All right?
Yeah,
It's a
that's the
fucking-
first time the hurricane's ever
dub.
done a positive thing. So.
Right? Bro, you may
Which I love
be
this
thugging.
hurricane.
You may be thugging through this better than you thought you would.
Maybe 6 hours and no electricity. At least I got my Steam Deck. No games on it yet. I'm still trying.
Slay the Spire, bitch.
Yeah, I was looking for. I didn't really think about it till after I purchased it, but I was like, damn, I'm not gonna be able to easily play like my Game Pass games, like on the Steam Deck. It just seemed like such an obvious device to use it for, but it's a Linux app, and there's not a native like Xbox app for Linux or whatever.
I haven't played with it yet, but the cloud gaming version of the Xbox app is supposed to be pretty good for it.
Yeah, they did some weird thing where I saw a thing where it was like you could download the Microsoft Edge browser,
Yep.
but then change something about it so that it actually opens up the X Cloud app instead. And then once you could do that, then you have access to all your cloud games.
Yep.
Very
So then
curious.
it's like PlayStation Now, pretty much. But
Which one did you buy?
I got the mid tier.
Same.
I didn't think the high one was worth it, and the low one didn't have enough memory, in my opinion. So
Yep.
it was like 32 gigs and then like 256 gigs or something. I'm just like, this is a no-brainer. Like, can't even install Call of Duty on that first one.
Could not be in Verdansk.
Nah, you got to be in Verdansk. Yeah, so they're still doing reservations for it, I guess. Like you
Yep.
got to reserve. That's crazy.
You got to reserve it.
Yeah, it's moving faster now, though. Honestly, that's what it seems like, at least.
One cool thing I noticed, there's a lot of PS5s out in the wild now. It's a lot easier to get.
It's Pokemon.
Yeah, the reservations are quick because they were like, you would reserve it and you would get it like a quarter, like a whole nother quarter, like 3-4 months later. But I reserved mine at the end of August, and I'm getting it at the end of September. So it's like
Very nice.
it's like a 1 month turnaround, which is slow for like a regular purchase. But I don't know, things that are getting built to order, I think is pretty cool.
All right, yeah, that's fire. Maybe I'll get one. I don't know.
You should.
I
You
just
could start gaming again.
I thought you could do the Game Pass on it because that made sense. Now that I got Game Pass, but that sucks.
Think
And
of
I
all the
heard
power
they're-
washing we could be doing.
They're doing a docking station for it too.
Yeah, there's a dock coming out eventually. It'll be cool. I mean, there's things you could do right now. I mean, when I was on vacation, like I essentially I had a little USB-C dock set up for it, and that's how I was doing all the thumbnails and whatnot through the Linux desktop on it. So
Damn, It's fire. Well, I'll tell you what, boys. You know what really trips me out is why do people love watching these shows and series and movies about serial killers? I've seen like my ex used to do it. My mom and my dad, they love watching. My sisters love watching it. Like, what's the big hype? Why do people like watching these shits? I don't really fucking get it. Like that new what is it? Dahmer? I'm fucking destroying the name probably. Right?
Yeah, Dahmer.
Dahmer. Thank you. Everybody's watching this shit right now, and I don't really get the idea of why the fuck. Like why?
It's interesting. It's interesting to hear. Like, there's other human beings out there that function. You know, everybody's different, but there's people out there that function so differently that they'll do the most heinous things possible. And I don't know, it's interesting to get into the psychology of why they end up the way that they do. And then I think there's a morbid curiosity of all the terrible things they've done. Just, you know.
I think those are like the two big reasons why people watch shit like that. I will say I've watched the first 2 episodes of that Dahmer show. It makes me very uncomfortable. That shit is not usually my jam though. So like I'm not the target audience for those kind of shows. But it's a very uncomfortable look into that whole situation in his life. I'm not a huge fan, which is weird because I read my friend Dahmer is a fantastic comic book. It's really well done. It's about it's written from this kid that knew Jeffrey Dahmer back in like high school. And it's talking about like his experience with him as like a teenager. And that's great. I really enjoyed that. The art's kind of not my favorite, but the story is good. But yeah, this show Dahmer, I just cannot get into it. It makes me very uncomfortable. It's just like the way that he's interacts with his victims and the level of detail they put into it in each scene. It's a lot, man. It is a lot to deal with.
Yeah, I also got through the first 2 episodes, and I was concerned that when you said that it made you uncomfortable, that it was like they were flirting with humanizing him too much or whatever. So I was kind of watching from that perspective of like, are they gonna, like, basically how are they gonna treat this character? And I think they did a good job of painting him to be, you know, the terrible person that he was. And I mean, it seemed like they are getting into why he's the way that he is.
Yeah.
Right, like his fucked up home life, and then his mom was doing drugs while he was in her womb, and
The hernia thing is weird. I had not heard that before, where they were saying that the hernia is like that was the changing point in Jeffrey Dahmer. His dad keeps bringing up. He's like, he hasn't been the same since that hernia operation.
yeah, botched surgery, man. Back in the day, man, who knows how, you know, how the impacts of, like, you know, different medical practices or whatever. But I don't know. I think it's good so far. There is a big degree of discomfort where, like, how long he's just like with his victims. Those scenes are intense. Like, he's about to murder this guy, and like the conversations they're having, the vibe, all that stuff is very strange. And I mean, like, there's no way that they could truly know exactly how these interactions went down, because there's maybe Jeffrey Dahmer told them, actually, so maybe they have some insights, and some survivors will probably tell them how it went down. But yeah, it was just very uncomfortable. Very strange.
The intimate nature, like how close, like the conversations he's had with his victims, it's a lot to deal with. And then you add in that whole like police incompetence thing that's just going on in the entire show. It is a stressful show for me. I'm probably gonna finish it, but it is not my favorite thing that I've ever watched.
Yeah, because I didn't know. Like, at first I thought it was a movie. I didn't know it was a show. But yeah, like, just in general, like, I don't really like fucking like watching shit like that. It's just like, well, why do, like, I get it, like, people are interested in these serial killers and stuff like that, but it's just like, I don't know why anybody would want to watch the hype off that shit. It's almost like you're glorifying serial killers in a way by like making a show and a movie and all this shit about it. But maybe that's just how I'm looking at it.
I mean, there's some aspect of it that like that's a valid concern to have about the show. I mean, like you saw, I don't know if y'all saw on Twitter. I'm sure Doey saw on Twitter where people were posting like images of Evan Peters playing Jeffrey Dahmer. They're like, man, this man is so fine and blah blah blah. It's like he's playing a fucking serial killer in this show. Maybe that's not the thirst trap image of this actor to use.
I mean, it's consistent with at least what I've read and know about the Jeffrey Dahmer situation. One thing that was a little off-putting or just jarring to me is how awkward Jeffrey Dahmer is in the show. Whereas in my memory of what I know about him in real life is that he was like somewhat charismatic. He had a bunch of women that were in love with him while he was in prison already for the things that he were doing. There were women that thought that he was innocent and things like that, and they were like I vaguely remember him having some type of like male relationships.
You're not mixing him up with Ted Bundy, right?
Maybe I'm mixing up with Ted Bundy
because Ted Bundy is the one that they claim was super charismatic and the escape artist and all that shit.
Yeah, maybe I'm mixing him up with Ted Bundy.
Yeah, because I mean, the comic that says that Jeffrey Dahmer was a socially awkward outcast, like that's what my friend Dahmer establishes at least.
Yeah, the way that this guy behaves, I'm like, it's a miracle that he landed any dates with anybody, that he's managed to get anybody back to his place. So if he could do it, I think anybody could do it. All you incels out there, if Jeffrey Dahmer's getting people to go back to his house, you could do it too, all right? Get out of your involuntary celibate ways, all right?
I think that's just a part of the gay world and lesbian, gay. They are more sexually interactive. They, right off the bat, it could go down the same night and they could just have a 20-minute conversation. You're feeling it. And I think they just, I think that's a part of like the gay lifestyle.
I think that is a stereotype that's been pushed on us about like gay people and lesbian people.
Gay people are fucking.
I know
gay
that there
people
are
are fucking way more than we are. Heterosexuals, gay people are fucking way more than
Doey
heterosexuals.
frequents all the gay people.
I'm just saying, I know enough gay people to know that this is actually.
I've got a gay brother that I've known for my entire life. I've been very involved with a lot of his friends and his social circles and whatnot. I think it's a stereotype that's mostly been pushed on us by Republicans to paint, non-heterosexual people as deviants.
It might be. It might be the case.
I think that's a paintbrush that and by all means, I'm not trying to say that your experience with is invalid or anything like that. But I do think with my experience meeting gay people, knowing gay people at the bar in a social setting, I just have experienced what I've seen.
I mean, there's hookup culture on both sides for sure, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm saying that gay people are just more sexually active than your average Joe.
I will say what stuck out to me on the show is, man, if you wanted to be a serial killer back in like the early 90s and the 80s and this whole like Dahmer time period, just say that you had gay stuff going on. And those cops would just fuck right off, dude. Those cops are so... They said they were going to shower after just like interacting with Jeffrey Dahmer. He's like, I got to get back to the station and shower now. The homophobia in the police force was crazy, and it saved Dahmer from being caught so early on, according to the show at least.
Yeah,
he dragged somebody back to his apartment to drug them. And I guess he left the house for some stupid reason.
They don't explain why he left the house.
He said he went to go get beer, which is, he seemed to be an alcoholic too. So
yeah, I mean that also
the guy managed to escape, but he was so drugged that he made it outside. Some neighbors found him. He like stumbled onto like the stoop of the building. The cops showed up, and they were questioning this guy. Dahmer walks in, and he's just like, "What the fuck? Nah, this is my boyfriend. We're just doing sex stuff, We're going to get in there." No, he gets really drunk. He's just really drunk right now. And the cops just sort of was like, "Oh, I can't be around all this gay shit, dude. I'm going to just do your gay shit away from me." Go into that room. And he let the guy go back in. And presumably Dahmer's going to kill this guy now. I I don't know if they show that, to be honest. But.
Yeah, that cop just retired. That cop that like handed, and this was a 14-year-old kid too. This was like, a fucking like a teenager that was living on the streets. That cop that handed that kid back to him just retired from the force. He had a long, successful career in the police force, apparently.
Yeah, and I don't know if I don't know if that was a recreation or if that was the real phone call. But they play a phone call after those cops let the guy go. The neighbor called the cops back, and she's on the phone with them, kind of pleading them to say, like, go back to the house, check that out. This guy's a fucking weirdo. We don't know what he's up to. This seemed weird. This kid is underage. But he's drinking, and the cops are just like, nah, we handled it. It's under control. Like, we just need you to like drop this shit. And it's like, there's a level of incompetence there that, the cops are somewhat complicit in what happened because they didn't do their due diligence or whatever. Which maybe isn't fair because you can't do your due diligence on everything, right? Like, you can't take every fucking bomb threat the same, and because then you wouldn't be able to do anything. But
I mean, that is true. But maybe when there's a half-naked kid bleeding on a stoop, maybe you should at least get his ID. Maybe you should do something besides just handing him back.
Facts. Like, then it's a grown-ass man with an underage kid. Like, the fuck? That's not red flags to you guys either? Like...
bro, they're gay. They were trying to get the fuck out of there. They're like, we don't know what these gay people do.
The flimsiest like reasons for everything though from Dahmer though. He's like, oh yeah, I really like cooking pork chops, and I had just got a bunch of pork chops, and then my fridge broke, so now I got this bad meat smell in my apartment.
And it works. Like, people just buy it. Like,
the next door neighbor, to her credit, didn't buy any of it. That lady knew something was going on.
She was playing with fire, bro.
She could have been next on that list.
Mm-hmm. She kept going into that hallway, talking with him. Like, they show the scene where he gets arrested. She's yelling at the cops too. Like, I told y'all motherfuckers, like, I called y'all a dozen times. Yeah, he never take this shit seriously. So it's like she must have been working her ass off to get this dude investigated, and the cops just didn't take it seriously. And the part of what he lived in, I guess, like a black neighborhood, and the cops called it like a crackhead neighborhood or something like that.
Yeah, they called it like Cracktown or some shit like that.
Right. So I wonder if there's a degree of them not taking it seriously because of where it was. Like, they're in this ghetto ass place. Like, we're not, we don't care that much about this area. We don't take their problems as seriously. They even told the white guy, they were like, what the fuck are you doing here? Why are you living here? Like,
I'm sure that was an aspect for sure. Did y'all ever watch any of those other shows? What was that other big one? Is that the other big one that was out?
I saw the first season of that show. That's the one where he like falls in love with a chick and he wants to like kill her or something like that.
I think so. It's something weird like that.
Yeah, I don't really watch any of those.
And there's Dexter. Shows. Everybody was in a Dexter.
Everybody watched Dexter.
Dexter it's still a popular show now, I think, even though how old it's like or how long it's been out.
Well, it just came out with a new season, right?
They didn't make another season.
I'm more interested in Dexter recently, right?
I think so. What are you saying, Doe?
I'm more interested in like the real ones, the ones like, like the actual real murderers and killers. I think, unfortunately, as interesting as a lot of these shows are and these interviews are, I think you get, unfortunately, like this bad effect where you're going to get people that admire the person that they're trying to get you to, you know what I mean? That's done horrible things. I think you're just going to get that effect where a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this dude is awesome. And I think you're going to get the, kind of like a worship. It's weird. I think these stories need to be told, though. Like, to show how horrible these people are. And I think there's nothing wrong with telling a story and like showing people to be careful how these shits went down back in the day. But I just think, unfortunately, you're going to get a subset of people in any of those situations that are like, I like this guy. Like, I like how he works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, plenty of serial killers admire other serial killers. So.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you mentioned, there's those weird women that like get really. There's weird people in general that get really obsessed with serial killers. They send them letters in prison. Fucking the what were their names? The Menendez brothers or something like that. You remember those guys? They got married in prison to these women that were like writing them fan letters and like corresponding with them in prison.
Really?
Yeah, that's fucking strange.
Charles Manson got married in prison.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, people fantasize about that shit. I don't know if it's like a lust for like the thrill or the rush, I guess, of like, oh, he's a killer. Like,
maybe it's a very extreme version of that. I can fix her.
Oh, the fixers? Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you ain't fixing that shit. That boat has sailed.
Imagine being one of those people. You're watching like Jeffrey Dahmer, you get arrested on the news, and you're like, "Yeah, I can do this. I can turn this around."
There was the one guy's mugshot, right? And then all the girls were like, "Ooh."
Oh yeah, that the pretty
guy?
convict or whatever.
Yeah,
He got a model
tattoos on his
career out of
face
it.
and shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got a model career out of that shit. That was crazy.
So it must have been awkward for the first year and a half or so of that modeling contract. All he could do was just take pictures around the house with his ankle monitor hidden behind a prop or something.
I don't, but I thought once you serve your time, you don't have to be on no ankle monitor bullshit.
I think it depends, right? It probably depends. I don't know. I'm not super well versed in the criminal justice system.
That once you solve your time, that what?
Like once you serve your time, like if you go to jail for years or whatever, you come out and then you got to be on a house arrest with an ankle monitor. Like how the fuck does that work? I just served mad years in prison. Why the fuck would I be stuck in ankle monitored?
I think they're waning you back into society, so you're out of prison, and now they're trying to keep they're giving you some freedom. You're out, but you still have some rules, and that's like what parole is, right? When you get out on parole, you got to get a job, you got to be home by a certain time. It's like, I'm not saying it's a good system because like there's a lot of negative aspects to it, but I could see what some of the intent, like a positive intent could be, is that you want to make sure these people get employed. You want to get them in their house, away from trouble, away from the things that cause them this problem. And you want them to do this long enough that it instills this habit into them that, you know, if you only did this for 2 weeks, then they'll be like, oh, fuck it, I'll do this 2 weeks and I'll be back. I'll do whatever the fuck I was doing before. But if it's like 2 years of this shit, hopefully 2 years of doing this, maybe that next day you're not out there doing it again. This is just part of your life now. You know what I mean? But it don't work out like that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, what is that term? Recidivism? Is that right?
Yeah, the recidivism rates are very high in the United States. Basically, people who have been to prison go to prison again.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of that has to do with the shitty parole laws. A lot of that has to do with the fact that these people can't get jobs when they get out of prison, so they go back to doing crime. And you know, ex-convicts face a lot of trouble getting back into society because of their statuses.
Unless they took really pretty mugshots.
Yeah,
I just looked this guy up. I had never even heard about this.
You don't remember that dude?
Nope.
it's huge.
Yeah, I don't
It
know
wasn't
if
huge enough.
I'm like looking up some of the serial killers here, but yeah, I don't like. It's got to be like some type of like a brain or thinking process, something that just snaps in you, right? Like, you think people are just born serial killers and they're just like.
I mean, there's a lot of early signs that they claim you look for, right? Like if your kid's abusing animals or something, there might be something a little off with your kid.
Or
No,
gerbils.
Or gerbils.
Word.
I mean, it's a serial killer tendency is that
You'd be my
Just if
first
they're-
victim, though.
just if your kid behaves different than other kids.
Like if
That's
they
a
want
sign
to
of
become
them.
like an assassin when they grow up or something.
Probably be a sign.
Damn. Y'all boys are just painting pictures out here, I see. Golly, Picasso ass niggas. Damn. That's a profession, by the way. Like, they ain't got nothing to be a serial killer. I mean, damn, could they be classified as a
I
serial
don't think
killer?
you
though?
could put that on your resume. I don't think it's a profession.
I mean, you can't put. Yeah, you can't speak about it though. You just
You get
move.
out of the game and you're like applying for Walmart. It's like I spent 8 years as an assassin for the U.S. government. It taught me organizational skills.
The crazy thing is though about assassins is that once their career ends, the government tries to kill you. That's a real thing. People think I be joking. I wish.
Where's this information coming from?
I've met plenty of assassins in the 90s. Haven't you heard? Everybody
90s,
was an
everybody-
assassin.
Everybody
in my elementary school was an assassin.
All
man.
the elementary kids.
Nah, man, bro, it's crazy because it's like there's a lot of shit that just goes on that whatever. Not even I know, you know what I mean? But I'm privy to some knowledge, I guess you could say.
Fuck are you on about?
He doesn't know, man. He said earlier he's just putting words together to see what
No,
happens.
bitch, that's different. This is not a Michael
Listen,
Scott
bro.
moment. This is not a Michael Scott moment. I'm just telling you.
Nary a piece of evidence was acquired.
I hate that word. Nary a piece. I hate that word. I don't know why. I don't like that word. I like the way it sounds.
Neri.
But nah, serial
I
killers.
don't know. There's some cool shit out there about serial killers. I don't know if you guys watch Zodiac. That movie was fire.
That was pretty good.
Zodiac is
Like
good.
I didn't watch that one,
Silence of the Lambs, fire.
They-
Those Hannibal movies like Red Dragon, Hannibal. There's another one I can't remember. There's on Netflix. They have this amazing TV show. Fuck you, Netflix, for canceling this amazing show.
Damn.
Mindhunters. Yeah, they canceled Mindhunters.
Mindhunters
This shit
was
is
fire.
I've heard good
This
things
shit
about
is
that one.
fire. It's basically it's following the FBI when they first start learning about.
Serial killers.
There's just in their mind, there's just a bunch of random crimes that happen, and this group of people are psychologically trying to analyze the people that do these repeat crimes. That's what they call them, serial, like a serial TV show or serial show. It's like they repeat. They start analyzing these people and they come up with these profiles, and then they're able to like people do like these people kill like one person, and then they could already classify them as a serial killer, and they could figure like they like basically because of these people at the FBI, like serial killing is fairly comparatively non-existent to what it was in the past. Just because like the psychological profiles that they figure out on these people, they could figure out who did what in what place, where, why, all this shit, and they catch you like so fast. Like people don't even get to truly become a serial killer anymore like that. Like there was like the guy in New York who went on like a stabbing spree and things like that. And,
Yeah.
they call these people serial killers, but that guy's
They're
probably just
so
a dick.
short-lived. Yeah, they're so short-lived too. They find them in a couple of days. There's no with the amount of cameras that they are in New York, there's no real way of getting away from a crime. If the police want to find you, they'll find you. And if they don't find you, they'll find around where you're at. Like, and then they'll just work on that area.
Imagine DC. They like what?
That was the homeless man. He was shooting the homeless people in DC, and then he came up to New York and started shooting homeless people. They caught him pretty quickly too. He only killed about 4 homeless people before they found him.
I'm saying
It's a
like
black dude.
like with the
Is that the one that had his
cameras.
son with him too?
No, that was the DC sniper.
Oh, that's the other one.
That was crazy.
sniping niggas
So, like-
out the back of a trunk.
There's the Iceman Richard Kuklinski. That was someone that I did a lot of research on. He was a hitman for the mafia, but even before he was a hitman for the mafia, he was killing people for no reason. So that was one guy that I did research on, and I watched the interviews and stuff like that. It can be very interesting, but at the same time, it is more, in my opinion, a morbid curiosity. You're like,
For sure.
oh, it's like it comes from that deep place of like, what causes someone to kill someone? How do they feel about it? What is their feeling afterwards? Stuff like that, like stuff you can grasp.
Yeah.
That guy, Richard Kuklinski, had a family, kids, and he was just a hitman for the mafia. But there was times where he would just kill randomly.
That's insane.
Yeah, I remember when we were back in high school, you used to be somewhat obsessed with this guy.
Yes,
Who, you?
me.
Oh, you. Oh,
Yeah.
I never knew that shit. I didn't know you was obsessed with no serial killer.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't obsessed, but
But I was
would
looking
watch-
into it.
He would, like, he'd have these hour-long interviews and things. He'd be like, "Yo, you seen this shit? This is great." You know, he's just finding videos on like, you know,
The
I don't even know what the
Iceman.
fuck.
And
The
it started
Iceman, yeah.
because of the MMA. That guy, the Iceman. And I'm like, who's this Iceman?
The real Iceman.
Yeah.
My mother warned me about you way back in the day. Don't hang out with that kid. Eso está raro.
That kid that you went to special ed with, be careful. He's extra special.
Nigga's extra special. This nigga loves that. That's his one liner.
That's my one.
So
Because
fucking
Shit
I'm
shut
bringing
you
you down.
down.
With me.
He's
I'm
trying to
bringing
shoot me
you
down.
with me.
That just shows you how fucking really. Let me not even say
There's
that word.
nary a better response to you, Tony.
Yes.
Nary.
Nary is a response better than that one.
That's a dumbass. Anyways,
Let's join houses, Tony.
or the no.
Let's marry our children together.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
No, nary
This
would
man
army.
loves. This man loves bringing my kid into situations. I don't know what's up with this
It's
guy.
interesting. You didn't watch Game of Thrones or the House of the Dragon episode, do
It's
it?
interesting.
It's a plot point that gets brought up.
Awesome.
Marrying houses.
I thought he was referencing that on purpose.
No, he
No,
didn't
no.
watch it.
He didn't- he
Not
didn't-
the
either.
most recent one, but yeah, I've seen the other ones.
He doesn't watch shows.
Tony
Battlefield
is
5 is the best Battlefield.
Tony is an Allison
Another
Hightower
one.
kind of dude, though, huh? You see that his response was the same as her response. He said, "Nah."
But no, yeah, fuck. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like you guys are into serial killers. Like you guys are fanboys for sure. So
I certainly wouldn't call myself a fanboy of serial killers, but I find I'm into crime shows, so I'm more interested in the what the fuck are they doing, why are they doing this, and how are these people gonna catch this guy. So yeah, I'm like less interested in like a shit that's already. I don't know. I'm just interested to know how everything played out. Like all the things that led up to this person's arrest, I find interesting. Which is why I like shows like The Wire, which is like a big police investigation show. Mindhunters is similar. I don't know. I like crime shows. So
no, get it. My bad. I'll retract my statement. on
Even
you.
like, wasn't the Road to Perdition like a chase? They were chasing him for a while.
I don't
The-
think I
that
ever saw Road to
movie?
Perdition.
Yeah, he was on the run, right?
Nah, I'm pretty sure the Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
Nah, I think he's like a hitman for the mafia, and he
Okay.
tries to get out the game, and somebody goes to try to kill him, and then he
Okay.
goes John Wick. It's the John Wick of like that era. It's an
So
older movie.
even that's why that movie grabbed me, because it's like, for me, it was like, how did people commit crimes back in the day? Was it easier to get away? How did people get after? How would people know if there was no cameras? Shit like that. So
it was much easier to get away. I mean, motherfuckers were breaking out of jail, and they were just gone. Like they weren't going. Like they would go to, they'll skip town. They'll live their lives the rest of their life if they're breaking
Imagine
out
it.
of
You move 2 towns over, and no one knows your name. There's no social media. You just go by a new name and done.
no social
crazy.
security. No, there's nothing to identify you by.
I'm sure.
You know what
I don't know when Social Security numbers started. That's actually, I don't
Imagine.
know. But
Number
imagine how
one.
But imagine how easy it would have been to forge a Social Security card back then. What are they going to do? They're gonna go put it into the database. Shit doesn't exist.
yeah, that's actually
I
yeah.
thought it was like a post. Was this like a World War II thing?
I have no idea. I've
What?
never looked it up.
Social Securities.
I'm not too sure, but I know that IBM helped create the database for Hitler for the Holocaust, which is fucked up and
Holy
crazy.
shit, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Nah, this
IBM. So go ahead. Well, holy shit, what?
son just smacked the fuck out of my window right now. Thought someone was trying to come in and just heard a bow. And then I took my headphones on. It's the fucking wind and rain smacking against my goddamn window.
Don't look
You're
out
not-
that window, Tony. You'll create a time paradox. It's you out there. It's a younger you out there with a log trying to
Yeah.
throw it through those shutters.
Damn, he's trying to
you-
save me?
Yeah. Thank God you don't have any shutters. Those things don't work at all.
These frivolous attacks from your fucking weak ass standpoint is weak.
Okay, Mr. Log.
I hit you with a log. That shit might fix you. But talk about fixing. When Nintendo Switch fix its console because Steam Deck is out and it's the hype. It
Yo.
looks like it's the more superior fucking handheld ever created, even over the PSP. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling there. Mateo's got a Steam
PS
Deck.
Vita?
PSP.
Definitely over the PS Vita.
PSP. That's what I said. Anyways, Pucho's getting a Steam Deck. Mateo's getting. What's with these fucking faces?
Yo,
This is all
hosting,
fucked up,
your
bro.
hosting
I'm hosting,
capabilities
and I got this
are
dickhead here cutting
yeah.
me off at every fucking chance. I can't do
This is
nothing
killing me.
with this
Intro
cutoff.
the topic, Tony.
You
I
meant
tried
the
to, but you're fucking-
the
Yeah.
PlayStation Portable that came out in like 2005.
it's a
That's
joke
what you're
on the
really
PSP.
referencing?
No, it's a fucking
Oh.
joke. It's a play on the PSP. How shitty it was.
Didn't sound
Jesus Christ. Dory wants to gargle that shit and fucking ruin the intro. Thank
But Tony,
you,
what if I want to watch one of my UMDs? What am I possibly going to watch that on?
I forgot all about the U.
Listen, man,
That shit
people
was
still
the
collect
worst.
vinyls. That shit is a dead fucking medium, but people still collect them. So don't talk shit about UMDs.
You know what, though? You have convinced me. I'm going to go to the landfill right now and pick me up a PS Vita.
You're fucking.
Let's see what Greg Miller has to say about this.
I did tell you what though. Versus your Steam Deck versus your Switch, Mateo. It's beefier, right? Like it's stronger. It runs actual operating
Can we
system.
see size comparison? Do you have either of them next to you?
Oh, I don't know where my Steam Deck is currently. I was playing with it around the
Oh,
house somewhere
shit.
and I left it somewhere. It's bigger. It's definitely bigger. It's heftier. It's heftier. It's a chunkier boy. I actually think it fits better in my hands than the Switch. The Switch just feels kind of puny now and fragile. Like I'm gonna break it.
But do you
It's
think
the specs are definitely way better, Tony. Like, I mean, I can play Borderlands 3 and Control and all kinds of shit on there. I think I saw someone playing God of War on the Steam Deck the other day on
Yeah.
Twitter. So like, it can handle just about anything that I've thrown at it. At least.
Have you and no lag, no buffering or anything weird like that, or
Anything that I've played on it, I have not run into any issues. There's a couple of games you have to do some tweaks to. You have to change the HUD display a little bit because it gets real tiny on like the way that it's trying to display it natively. But you know,
Does
it
the-
definitely requires more tinkering than the Switch. I mean, the beauty of the Switch is it's all made by Nintendo. You put a game in there, you download a game, it's going to work perfectly because it's designed for that specific hardware.
now?
Yeah, the Steam Deck is still a PC, which means there's a 50-50 chance anything you do on there is going to work. And then you got to whip out text editors. You got to fucking play with things in order to get things to work. I feel like that's something they got to get right eventually. That's some bullshit. My game's not running because of this folder. And blah, oh, delete your system 32. You're like, what? Delete what?
I mean, hypothetically, if you were to do some emulation on the Steam Deck, it works perfectly for that. From testing that I've read about.
Yeah, I'm not for that. I'm definitely not gonna emulate games on my Steam Deck.
I will
won't be
definitely not
playing-
send you an article here later on. That
They gotta entice them to fucking do it. So
kickstand looks badass that you got?
Pooch, if you want one of these kickstands, I have a spare one that I can send your way.
Yeah, send it away. Why not?
Will do.
My
What
Steam
is it
Deck
up?
is allegedly coming tomorrow, so I'll be.
how big
It's just
is
a little kick. It's just a little kickstand like the Switch has, basically.
That shit's weak though on the Switch. I don't even trust it.
Oh
Even on
yeah,
the
it's
table.
super weak. It works, but it's weak.
That shit
Yeah,
is,
I owned my Switch for 2 months before I realized you could pull that thing out.
oh man.
So for me, the indicator for me that Nintendo's gonna have to come out with something beefier is the fact that they're into selling third-party games now. They're getting that chunk of change from all these third-party developers, and they have it's almost like the port system. Everything is getting ported to the Switch that came out before. So I think for me, the big indicator that they are gonna have to, maybe they'll be the console that does the in between. So like everything that came out on PS4 and PS5, the next Switch is gonna be able to like somehow port that, you know what I mean, port those games. But I think for right now, they're making so much money off of people buying. Everyone wants Skyrim again. They want Skyrim portable, so they're getting all of those sales. They're getting the XCOM sales because I bought XCOM on the Switch. It runs like garbage, but I need to have it because I love XCOM. So they're getting a lot of these double and triple sales from people that just want to play these games portably, and I think they need to consider that in order to be successful in the next. They're not going to survive off of Nintendo games. Nintendo drops like 3 or 4 games a year now. It's fucking not enough. You know what I mean? Well, maybe I'm lying. How many? I just don't see them dropping.
You're talking about like actual Nintendo games,
They don't,
right? Like,
they don't release enough. That's for damn sure.
They need the fluff.
Like they released Kirby this year. What else? And Pokemon Arceus.
There's a Pokemon game that comes out every year, basically. So like,
besides those 2 games, I don't know what like any notable Nintendo games that are.
is there a Metroid that came out this year?
Last year?
Did Dread come out this year? The fucking
I don't think
pandemic.
so.
Last year, I don't
Everything
remember.
just-
Yeah.
2020 to now is just one time period for me, man.
Which was weird. Yeah, but you're absolutely right.
But do you think that the Switch is actually like do they view the Steam Deck as competition though? Because I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced they do. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah,
Nintendo they always do their own weird thing, and I just don't know if they view anyone as competition.
I think they understand that shit evolves. They have to understand that. They have this. They're in this weird place where they're able to drop their games and then make money off of their store, off of other games, which funds more of their shit. I don't think they're gonna want to get rid of that money.
I mean, but think about like their previous approach to new hardware coming on the market. Like what was around the Wii time frame? What systems were there? Was it the PS2 and the
PS3?
The PS3. So they saw the PS3 and the Xbox 360 come out, and Nintendo was like, you know what we need to do? We need to make a vastly less powerful system that you control with your hands with weird nunchuck controls.
Yeah.
And that was their response to that threat. Then a couple of years later is the Wii U, and they were like, you know what? Everyone's making these super powerful systems. Let's make a tablet that has awkward controls on it. Nintendo does their own thing, dude. They don't I don't think they care.
I think they got a taste of that Skyrim money. And I think that changed. They're like, hold the fuck up. Like, we can make money off of games that we didn't even fucking produce. We're like making money off of our store. The same thing as the Apple store. They're getting a percentage of each video game sold on their store. I don't think they're going to want to give up that sizable revenue that they've been getting these past few years.
Yeah, but Skyrim came out on the PS3. So it's
I'm just saying, it's
I don't
the
know, that
port.
Skyrim money is a game from 2 generations ago. I don't think. I think Nintendo has cut out like a nice niche, which is like they get some games that are AAA on their console that are cross-platform. They get some more indie games than pretty much any other platform now. Like maybe I mean PlayStation probably still got the lead in that, but Nintendo gets a ton of things that only come to Nintendo. I don't know what kind of deals they're cutting. But there are games that I wished were on PlayStation. Like I played like Eastward on the Switch. that Into the Breach, it only came out on the Switch. I don't know if it since came out on PlayStation or not, but that was
I don't
like
think it
only
still
on the
has
Switch.
dropped. I don't
Right,
still
like-
don't think it's dropped.
They just have a lot of little indie games like that only come out on their console, and it's like I feel like between those indies and between Nintendo games, I feel like that's where they're happy. I'm with you. I wish they made a beefier console. I wished Zelda would look like fucking incredible on the next console, but it's not. It'll look like a cartoony thing because that's what Nintendo wants to do.
Well, it's what they can push with their hardware too, right?
I don't think they have a choice.
I think next coming from Nintendo, we're going to see the Virtual Boy 2.
Honestly,
What the fuck?
like if
you ever
Nintendo
use one
wants
of
to
those
fucking
things?
No, actually, that's not true. I played with one. It gave me a headache immediately.
I watched a video recently. Cue Pucho's awesome version of "Do It Now." You're playing with power.
Now you're playing with power.
Yeah,
My daughter might wake up.
Oh,
You fucking with me, though. It's 2-something in the morning, bro. My daughter
My
wakes
man.
up, I'm gonna kill you now.
Reggie was using the virtual console, and he's like, "This is awesome."
honestly, if Nintendo wants to survive this this Steam Deck battle that they really don't care or unaware or whatever, they need to join houses with Sony, man. Come out with a portable thing that some PlayStation games can come out on the handheld. That would be a game breaker.
I think the whole teaming up with Xbox is trying to figure out their online system, which is fucking trash. If they can't get that figured out within the next system cycle, I think they're dead in the water if they
So
haven't adapted that very well yet.
Xbox or Sony? Who you talking about for the Steam Deck?
Nintendo, their
so you
online
talk
is
about a
fucking garbage.
You talk about go with Microsoft instead of going with Sony.
I think they've been, I don't know if you know, but they've actually been working alongside Microsoft. They have a good relationship with each other. And I think that is like, Microsoft has always had good online services since the first Xbox 360. They have always been ahead in online services. And I think Nintendo is just coming to them as like, we need to figure out our online services. And I think Microsoft is just helping them.
you see that, Tony? They united houses, and Miyamoto's daughter didn't even have to marry Bill Gates' son.
Yep. They get to enjoy their own selections of meats.
I definitely think though that I don't know. I don't think the Steam Deck's going nowhere. That shit is once they fix the little things here and there that Pucho listed of some of his complaints. I can only imagine what other people who actually had it for a long time already have complaints about. But yeah, if they can get Game Pass on it, they can fucking. Because I mean, from the YouTube videos, like it looks really good. Like it look like it runs smooth. I don't know how the internet browser is, because there's a video that I saw that it just turns on. Mateo, correct me if I'm wrong. It turns on. It's literally a desktop view. Then you just kind of.
It goes straight into like almost like this revamped big picture mode is what it boots into. It's all Steam OS. It's Linux based. And you can switch it over to the desktop mode and get to Firefox and do your full browser. I mean, it's a little computer. It's a handheld computer is what it is.
Very cool.
Shit. Might have to get one for real.
No, I am curious what Nintendo's going to do next. I think that we're probably like 2 or 3 years out of like whatever the next Nintendo console is. And I'm always curious to see what Nintendo's going to do next, because I just don't think that Nintendo views anyone really as competition, because they have their own niche. I mean, if you want to play Mario, where are you going to play a Mario game on? You're going to play it on whatever the current Nintendo gen is.
Look at how much the actual title sell. Splatoon came out maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. 9 million in sales. I'm like, holy shit. Like everybody who owns a Switch basically bought or buying the Nintendo games. I know that this month I'm buying Bayonetta 3 and Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope. 2 games right there. They got $120 out of me this month.
Yep.
Because they never put their games on sale.
I think
Never.
you don't think the reason why that these games sell so like everybody buys a game is because they don't drop enough games. So when they drop these 1 or 2 games, everybody goes and buys it. It might be a marketing scheme for them to do that. Like
I think it's smart.
I own at least the ratio is like 5-1 for like Nintendo games I own compared to like indie titles that I've bought off the Nintendo like eShop.
No, yeah, that's why I'm just like curious because like they'll complain about it, like, oh, they don't drop enough games, and then now it's like, oh, it's smart. Kind of, like, is it smart though? Like,
no, I think some of the games they've been dropping are subpar. I think that golf game could have been way better. I feel like Mario Aces is pretty fucking good though, but I feel like,
yeah, the Mario tennis game is good. I actually like the Mario golf game a lot.
Wait, I did not. Mario Ace is the tennis game.
yeah.
I did not like that game.
I liked
No?
it.
I don't. Nintendo's been doing this thing lately where you don't have to work at all to get things in the game. I don't know. It feels weird to say I want to buy a game where the content is locked behind progression, but it's like without that, I have nothing to play the game for. Like sometimes I bought Mario Tennis. It has like this weak little story mode. Once I finished that, it was like I guess all I do now is play online or play with my non-existent friends, and it's like. And the game's just been collecting dust. I haven't played it since. I just felt like I wasted my $60 because I ran through like all those tennis matches in like 2 days or whatever. And it's like you played the Mario Tennis on N64, and there's so much progression. There's so much to do there that it's like you know the Mario Golf's the same way. You start that game with only 2 characters. You got to play your holes and all that stuff to kind of unlock the set of characters. And I find that without that, it's just the games don't hold me. Like I love playing Super Smash where you got 8 characters, you got to unlock the rest of the characters. Like without that, it's just not as fun. You just have them all. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, that's fair. They might have overcorrected, honestly, because like maybe there was some blowback to like starting off the latest Smash with 8 characters, and there's 527 or however many characters there are in that game. There's a lot in that game. There's a lot of unlocks.
yeah, I still think that the Switch before they drop the new one, they have to fix a couple things. Nintendo online. The service is 100%.
It will die if it doesn't have good online. I'm quoting it right now. If they don't fix that fucking online, if they don't have a completely revamped online service where you can jump into a party with friends, where if you can do the same things, they have to be competing. They have to be punching at the same level, if not close to it. They can't be this. Yo, the shit is asinine. Although I'm enjoying Splatoon 3 and I've been playing online, so much fun. They know how to create fun content. And I believe in them because I'm like, yo, this game is fun. I'm playing with people that are fucking me up. But here's the thing. You can fuck people up in Splatoon. That's not really the point of the game. The point of the game is to cover your territory and the opponent's territory with paint. So it's not really focused on killing people. So there's like a weird aspect to the game that's very fun. You don't even have to focus on being competitive. You could just paint.
And then so fix the online services for sure. And then second, come out with more games that are fucking good AAA games. And the prices, they gotta work on these prices. Like I don't know why they're sticklers about not changing prices. Because as a
prices are only gonna go up.
Only gonna go up.
Because if
I would like a sale or 2.
Yeah, it's not for me. It's not the prices like the number that the game releases at. It's that these games never go on sale. Like Nintendo has a bunch of sales. And they almost never touch their games. Those games are full price forever. And it's like, bro, this sucks. Like, I want to play this game. I don't want to spend $60 on it. It's like, all right, fuck, I guess I'm not playing it kind of thing. Like, I want to buy some of these Pokemon games. I want to try them out and things like that. And it's like, I'm not paying $60 for a Pokemon game. Like,
Yeah, that's the
It's
same
not
way.
happening.
Same way I
Switch
feel
games.
about
Switch games is like they are the only reason I still go to like GameStop and game resellers and shit like that, because then you can go pick them up a
Yep.
used copy of that game for a little bit cheaper.
Yep.
Yeah, but then I'm in the aspect of like digital. Like I like digital games. I don't
Same.
want to have. That's one
If you're a
thing.
digital gamer and you got a Switch, you are fucked.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm so digital that I never even considered buying hard copies of this thing. And I'm like, let me go on Amazon and see if are these games any cheaper. Like, I've just never thought of it. So maybe my problem is not as big as I thought. Maybe I'll get to try a Pokemon game soon enough. Or maybe when I get my Steam Deck, I definitely won't play any GBA, games on there. Game Boy Advance games on emulators.
Allegedly,
I
you can
probably
even emulate the
won't.
Switch on there if you were to acquire,
I heard the DS. There's some good Pokemon games for the DS that are good.
Yeah, I played Pokemon Diamond and Pearl on the DS. It was cool.
Like, what was my fucking third topic? Keep getting cut off. Oh yeah. Also,
You were gonna introduce the topic.
no.
and you kept
My
getting
third,
cut off?
not topic. My third reasoning. I had 3 reasonings, and
What
every
they
single
need to
one
do.
just getting chopped off like a fucking piece of log in the wood.
We're just riffing. You wanted a monologue.
No, it's fine. I'm
It's
used
just
to
your
it now.
long pause, man. You do these.
There was no
Dramatic.
pauses. There
Tony,
was
Tony has the
no
longest
pauses.
pause in the
there
game.
was
They're that long.
there was zero pauses. Zero pauses. It's like
you
I
should
They
give us the
really need
finger,
to fix
dude.
this online thing.
never did that. That's never happened. I was like, they need to fix the online.
Yeah, the
And then they
online
need
once
to-
they fit. I was like, oh shit, I thought we could talk.
Shit is
See, the long pause even made you talk. Tony. You thought I was done. You're proving my point.
No, but I'm doing exactly what was. I'm done. Whatever. I lost my train of thoughts. All fucked. Anyways,
What's your
yeah.
third topic, Tony?
Steam Deck would definitely. I think they're gonna stick here for the long haul. They got games on discounts for Steam. It's just that shit's here forever. That shit's not going nowhere. They found a nice little spot where it's like, okay, let's drop on Handheld to see what it does. Everybody got hyped, and the fact that you can do all these things like a PC, bro.
Dude,
What else do you want?
props to Steam, man. They have come out with the goofiest hardware every single time they've tried to release hardware. They released the Steam Link. They released that goofy controller that I've got a pair of up there. They tried to release a Steam Box, which was like a pre-built Steam PC or something like that. And they took all those ideas that just failed and they just smashed it all together into the Steam Deck. And this shit is hitting. This shit is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, I was afraid to buy the Steam Deck for that reason. Is that I was excited for the Steam controllers. I was excited for the Steam machines. And the Steam Link is actually a product that's actually
the
good.
Steam Link is cool as hell.
It's actually cool. I think they're hitting on that one. It could be better, but it's cool. But yeah, I was afraid of getting bought into the Steam Deck because I'm like, is this just going to be? They have a history of coming out with this hardware and then just not supporting it.
Yep.
Valve is infamous for creating things and just not supporting it. Because I don't know what the fuck's going on in that company, but they have a weird company structure where there's the CEO and then every other employee is on the same level. So all the employees
Whoa.
decide what they work on. So it's interesting. There's
Never knew
Gabe
that.
Newell and then everybody else, and everybody else it'll be like, they allegedly, which makes no sense to me because I'm like, Gabe Newell definitely got to be yelling at these guys to go out there work on things like the store makes them a lot of money. So it's like, but apparently allegedly they have autonomy to say, oh, let's make Half-Life 3. Maybe not that one. Maybe Gabe Newell veto that. But if they wanted to develop a new game, any of the employees that are there, if they're interested in that, they'll just huddle their desks together and they'll start working on that thing. No one is directing them. It's just the employees are directing themselves. So they're pitching to their friends at work and things like that, trying to get them bought on an idea, and they're working on it. And so it's just like, that structure makes it, in my mind, easy for cool ideas to get developed, but maybe they don't follow through on fully supporting it because it is not sexy anymore. You know what I mean? People get tired of it, and
That's interesting. I did not know that about the company.
It's creative the way they like are structured. Anybody can work on anything.
Huh.
allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
I couldn't. It's hard for me to believe that like if one day all the employees were like, we're no longer gonna work on Steam. Like Gabe Newell will be like, all right, whatever. We're no longer. It's like, nah. They're raking in so much cash there that it's like, there's no way in hell that would be an acceptable decision. But
yeah, and to be honest, like Steam Deck being so limited right now, like you can't just go to the store and buy one. I mean, you're on a wait for at least a month, I guess. The approximate
You are
time.
never going to be able to go to a store and buy a Steam Deck. You will be putting those dollars straight into the Steam store forever and ever and ever.
Okay, but that's also marketing genius, probably, right? Or we only sell it. You come to us directly on some.
It's kind of like a Nintendo's type move.
And I don't think that they're gonna ever upgrade the Steam Deck. Like I don't see. I think what, like maybe 4 years from now they might come out with a Steam Deck too. Probably. I'm like, I mean,
Yeah.
like how often you're gonna have to? Because they could just send you an update that you can just download off the.
I mean, there's going to be hardware limitations, and processors get smaller and smaller every few generations. Like there'll be a Steam Deck too, and it'll be in like 4 or 5 years. It'll be a similar cycle to what we see with like other handhelds and things like that.
Yeah, but yeah, fuck it, right? We're gonna see how it does or where it goes out to.
Yeah.
Switch, step your game up. That's all I gotta say. You're on the verge of fucking becoming a Vita. Don't want to do that.
Yeah.
With the
If they
hates.
don't get it, if Nintendo doesn't get it right next console generation, it could be very bad for them, in my opinion.
You're going to say
before
that
Nintendo came out with the Switch, I said Nintendo as a company is gonna die. The Wii U is so trash that I think this company is dead. Nintendo is going to become a game company only, and they're going to release their games on other consoles and stuff like that. That was my thought, and I was so wrong. The Switch is such a hit. So even if Nintendo don't hit the same way that they're supposed to be hitting, even though they're not competing with their peers, I think they'll continue to find that niche that the gamers that love like just pure fun game experiences or little kids and things like that. I think they're always going to gravitate towards Nintendo. I don't.
Bayonetta would not be a thing if Nintendo didn't acquire the license for Platinum. Nobody wanted the game. They saw the potential in it, and we are up to a Bayonetta 3 now.
Is Bayonetta that good?
It's incredible. You have to play through the first game to know if it's for you, but I think the first game is such a testament to how good it is. It's like a God of War game, but like with a kick and a twist. It's really good.
It's like a sexier Devil May Cry.
Yes.
Sexy.
But an all-around better Devil May Cry.
Tell you what, though, since we're on sex, can sex make or break your relationship with your partner?
Yes. Next topic.
Perfect.
Short and sweet.
I like
I
it.
love it.
No, people definitely think that, in all seriousness, that sex is it's a must in relationships. I don't think it's like number one priority, but if you suck at
If
sex,
it's a must, it's up there. You can't say that something is
But,
a
like,
must, but
it's
it's
a
not
part
a
of-
priority.
No, yeah,
Then
it's a-
where is it really?
no, you're being Dan to me. Woo! There goes the evil in me about to say some stupid shit. I'm saying you are wrong. It could definitely be a must, but not be the like number one thing. Like you gotta love each other, and then it's just like right there. Like
I was
sex is
about
in
to
there.
ask what are your hierarchy of relationship needs, Tony? What's
Like-
at the top?
Yeah.
A connection is a
food pyramid?
definite thing. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be able to. First off, it's attractive. You're attracted to your partner. That's one, right? Because if you're not attracted, then you're not gonna want to have sex, and then then fuck sex at that point, right? But your attractiveness, the connection you have with somebody, and then boom, sex. Like those two things intertwine. If you're just like people just have sex just to have sex, right? Like just like fuck it, let's just do it. Like there's no emotions or anything. So that to me will break a relationship. But if your bond and your connection is good, that sex will make the relationship. It'll make it like you would accept their flaws a little bit better if you know that they're about to give you the best blowjob or they're about to dick you down the best. Like you'll deal with some of their bullshits. But Papa Pooch.
Bro,
Your manner of speaking is funny as well.
bro, if we can't mash each other's uglies, nigga, in like the right way, we can't ever make nothing happen, bro. I'm sorry. We gotta know how to make each other nut. And then we can worry about whether we can be in each other in a relationship and like that. But it works off of the first nut. All right. I don't even want to be with somebody who doesn't make me nut. If I had a bad sexual experience with you, that's enough for me to be like, I think this is gonna work.
That's so weird. Like, you're a conflict with yourself. Like, bro, do you know you be saying like, oh, I don't fuck on the first day, I don't do this, but then you're like, oh, if I can't nut, I ain't even going in a relationship. Like, so how do you do the two? It's either or. You can't have both. You can't say,
How
oh,
do those things contradict each other?
They do.
I asked how.
Oh, how? Oh, because okay, if you don't know, like he's not gonna get into. He just said right now, oh, I need to know if they can make me nut. You're not gonna know that unless you go out and have sex, right? But then he don't like to have sex first. He likes to get to know the person. Those two right there are contradictions.
Yeah, he could get to know a person, then have sex, and determine if they have sexual compatibility. I don't see what the contradiction is.
That would tend to be my approach. That's
That's a normal approach. I'm saying Doe doesn't do that. Doe he just went from I want to fuck first to relationship versus no, I don't do the fucking first. I want to get to know the person.
Nah,
you
he
can't
said
do
the
both.
fucking is important, is what he said. Not that.
That's what I said.
That's what he said.
Also, it's not that I've never done a one night stand. It's that I don't do them very often. I've had my fair share of intercourses and actions, but it's not for me. It's very hollow. It's very I was drunk and you were drunk and we kind of just were too drunk. I don't know. For me, it's just they're very hollow interactions.
Joey, you may be a demisexual like me.
What's that?
Demisexual.
That's where you have to like there has to be like an emotional connection. Like
I can't.
Yeah, man, one night stands were fun and all, but like it's not really my jam. I'd feel a little empty after something like that. That to use Tony's word, that post nut clarity.
Yo, facts.
My word. Oh,
Well, you were talking about nutting and blowies and getting dick down and whatnot.
Oh no, like in a reference to like dealing with someone's bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I was married to somebody or dating somebody that is like constantly farts or burps, something stupid or annoying, or they do something that just like you don't fucking like, but you deal with it, or they're just not the best to speak to, or they're aggressive, or whatever the fucking case may be. Like
Tony's saying if you dick him down right, he'll deal with your bullshit.
Not dick me down. Like if
Well, that's what you said. I'm just.
didn't say that. Good twist. Trying to get me trapped. Nah. But yeah, if a girl fucks you right, or not fucks you, but if the girl's doing their job right, whatever the point. I'm saying if the sex is good, you deal with the bullshit. Simple and plain. That's all I'm getting at. This man just tried to fucking
my
destroy
cat is
me.
like, what's wrong with you?
You
Cat.
do got a judgy face back there.
Or judge. So about that, you're not in that camp then. You don't think
Oh no, I mean sex is absolutely important, but like it is like I need more than that. Like it's a relationship could probably function with the sex not being that good or something. I don't know, man. I haven't had a lot of bad sex encounters in my life. There's been some, but like there was a saying I heard one time where like sex is like pizza. Like even bad pizza is still pizza, so it's still you'll still eat it.
Would you eat that
I think
Deadwood pizza?
mainly-
Maybe not that Deadwood pizza.
I think mainly again, it's like we're rehashing our previous conversation a bit, but I think it goes back to the sexual compatibility. Like, yeah, sex can make or break a relationship if you guys aren't compatible. Like, if somebody wants to have sex every day of the week, it's like I'm not having sex every day of the week. That's just too much work.
That's a lot of work.
That's
A
just
lot
not,
of people
that's
are like,
just not for me. And if that's like a make or break for you, then we breaking, baby. It ain't happening.
yo, I tried to be on there's some days where you just want to take it easy. Maybe masturbate. Maybe you don't want to have sex. Maybe you just want to masturbate.
Nah, I don't know.
A good old porno scene. You toss the good old. You already know. You're like, ooh, I'm gonna bust right here. So I gotta start kind of in this area.
That's insane.
And then you're
I
like,
don't-
you lay back, old fashioned.
I don't know that I'm curating my experience quite to that level, but I do
insane.
agree that like self-love is very important. You got to find time for that too.
This man knows his bust moments. That's insane.
Yeah.
He's
Sometimes
got
you gotta start where you bust to see if there's something more.
Wow, he saves the video so he can finish the fucking movie.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to watch all of it. You're like, oh, it tapers off at the end.
What if you had a really like specific kink where like all it could get you off was like 90s style scrambled porn? So you had to find like old school like scrambled porn riffs or something.
It's a little button you have to press to make it less scrambled, and you're like, ah.
I bet you there's a Chrome plugin to make videos have the scramble effect. You can just scramble anything.
Oh my God. If there's not, we should make this. How do you trademark something?
Shit is insane.
The funniest story was the day that I was at my friend Roger's house. It was me, my brother, Michael, Roger, Anthony, and I think maybe that was it. It was us four, maybe one other person that I'm forgetting. And then Anthony, I guess him and Roger, their cousins, they plotted either that or it was, I think it was Kenny that lived across the street. He brought over something, or somehow Roger acquired this porno VHS porno, okay? And I was supposed to be the lookout while they were watching the porn. Can you
You're the
figure
worst
that?
lookout. That is a terrible idea.
And you are correct.
Till he started watching, he was slow stroking it in the
Not-
corner.
I was watching it and I wasn't paying attention. And then his dad pulls up on us. And then I'm like, whoa. That was the best warning I could give. Yo, Roger, he isn't like completely paralyzed, but one of his legs is paralyzed. Yo, I never seen him move so fast. He hit the button, the eject button, and it came flying out. It's on the back of his room. He threw the tape to the back of his room. But we got caught. It was already.
That tape popped out like the movie toasters when the bread flies.
That's
So, yeah.
insane.
Even as children, you know what I mean?
Yo,
You need the right material.
You think they should make an app where it's like rate your sex, and then anybody who wants to be like, oh, let me see what their love language is or what their sex is rating, and then boom, they're just like, not a QR code you, but you know, just like a face scan. Oh, let me see your sex. Okay, we could do this. I can make it work. Like, you know, like it's almost like a detailed history of how good your stroke is or whatever.
Oh, you're not talking about like sexual, because I was gonna say like FetLife is that exact thing, dude. Like that's where people go to explore all their fetishes. Is they put like what they're
that's crazy.
into and what what they want to explore on that site, and then you match with other people. It's like a dating site for kink.
I think one of my friends met somebody that they know recently on that.
Huh?
I'm surprised you don't use
never
that
tried
though.
it.
I need to be on this, but I personally stay away from social media apps. I'm an in-person kind of guy, baby.
Baby, I'm all about in person.
Although I've met a few people online that I'm kind of close to, so I'm not gonna say that that's not a valuable way to meet people.
Yeah, Mateo, right?
I met Mateo. I met all sorts of people.
I mean, I think
Just
he
talked
was.
about that. Go back like 20 some odd years at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about basically 20 years. 23 is going to be 20 years.
But no, I honestly think though that making that app will be perfect. I could just scan Doughboy's face or whatever and be like, "Oh, this rated." Beep. It's like almost like a Pokemon, right? You just
saying like their fuck rating?
Yeah,
like
like
how good of a
it's like,
fuck they are?
Yeah, like he's a size 4 with a girth of this. His stroke is only this long. Averages sex time fucking 5 to 6 minutes or whatever. He loves getting pissed on, shitted on. He loves it. Like all this sex thing comes up, and then boom, and then
I don't think that's fun. I think that's a very sterile way of like grouping sexual. I don't know. The fun in it is finding out if they're into the stuff you're into, and if maybe you can kind of nudge them over into that direction.
Nudge them over.
Yeah, kind of convince them. Like, hey, can I smell your farts?
hey Siri, sex addict hotline. That's what I'm gonna do to your ass. It's like Jesus.
But
That's
I think
disgusting. Dude. I'm not one for kink shaming. But fart smelling is one that I'm gonna ridicule. Okay, I draw the line.
What about toe
Fart
smelling? Pooch would be into toe smelling.
Me?
Sure.
No.
Yeah, Pucho's known for loving stinky smells. That's what he's known for on this podcast.
And he loves toes.
I'm like, though, when I smell a stinky smell, I have to smell it multiple times. It's this weird thing, but I hate every time that it's happened. It's not like
it's reversed from me. I love it.
Oh God.
Oh, you love
That's
to
horrible.
do it.
I'm a smelly kind of guy. Yeah, I'll
Like
sniff
the
some
smell
feet.
turns you on.
I'll sniff some feet. Oh yeah, put some long day at work. Give me those.
Oh wow.
So interesting. I want no fucking parts of any bottles. Like,
I'm just saying, I'm a lot of fun. Get to know me.
Okay. On that note,
I think the answer has mostly been yes, sex can break a relationship. Like
Absolutely.
Pucho's example of people having different sexual needs and you or different sexual wants. Yeah, like that can absolutely be a barrier.
yep. Well, there you go, people. You
I
better
mean,
have
what
sex.
if you're dating someone that wants to wait till marriage?
Not gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. It's just not gonna work out.
As long as you're fine with me
Sorry.
fucking somebody else, I'm cool with it.
What if the only position she wants is missionary?
No, thank you.
There's no way.
hold
There's
on,
no
you're
way you
saying
can have
you would
sex.
get with a person that wants to wait till marriage,
No, not me.
and you'd be happy to do that as long as you're able to have like a open relationship until then.
Oh yeah, if that's the requirements. Like if she's like if I get with her and then she finally says, "Yo, I don't want to have sex until marriage," I'll be like, "Okay, can I fuck
I
somebody
just feel
else?"
like you're playing the lotto with that. Like you're gonna get married, you're gonna get into a somewhat permanent situation or a situation that's not simple to get out of. And then once you're in it, you don't know what if this person's like a sex once a year kind of person.
You have a sheet with a hole in it because you can't see each other naked or something.
You don't know. You're right. It's playing. You're gambling at this point. That's a big gamble. But there's things called a divorce. Shit happens every day. Divorce.
I'm not trying to be up in and out of divorces, trying to figure out
I'm
my
not saying
marriages.
to be
with
in and
different-
out. I'm not saying be in and out. I'm saying if shit doesn't work out, right? You took a chance, like her, you love her, but sex breaks the relationship. Then you know what? Adios, amigo. Like
This is a difference of opinion on where that breaking point is. for us.
Tony's breaking point is I'm gonna get married first, see how it works, and then
nah, I mean,
we'll
I'm
see
always in
how
the
it
camp
plays out.
that you're
But
sexual.
I'm gonna find out what's happening before I get to the point where I'm bringing the government and the law into my relationship. Like I'm gonna stop before that point. But
No, I'm saying there is a, like, out of all of us here, I've said that I'm more willing to like help or teach my partner sex, right? Or like if she was a virgin her whole life and then I'm the first and she wants to wait to marriage and we have sex, like I'm willing to guide her through. I don't mind doing that because I'm a pleaser. I like to please, right? So it's like I don't mind doing that. Although for you guys like, nah, I ain't trying to teach. She better already know how to drive, which is fine.
I think that my thing was I think the guys that fetishize virgins, especially at our age, that we're all like collectively, is very, very weird to me and a little creepy.
It's very rare. It's very rare that you find a virgin of age, right? I mean, obviously, if you're that type of dude who dates young ass chicks, you're more likely to find a virgin. But as a 30 and up,
if I found a virgin my age, this shit would be a major red flag.
No, it is a red flag for sure. Oh yeah, it's a red flag. But I mean, she just don't have sex. There's women out there that just don't have sex.
That woman is
not for me.
That woman's gonna invite you back to her place, and it's gonna smell like it's just gonna smell awful. And you're gonna be like, "What's that smell?" And she's gonna be like, I really like cooking pork chops, and I had a bunch of, I put them in this fridge, and then the fridge died, and now I've got all this bad meat.
Fucking Janice Dahmer over
here. And Doey's gonna be like, I love bad smells, so this is actually perfect.
Yeah, this is perfect.
You watch in here, and you're like,
Is that 2-week-old pork chops I smell rotting over there?
Bring those out, baby.
Instant erection. Let's do it. Like it's just like it's fucking.
That bitch should be like, yo, I'm good. I'm not trying to kill you anymore. You're weird.
That's crazy, bro. But
imagine.
Nah, don't. That's
I
just
have
disgusting.
such bad dating luck that even the serial killer's like, nah, I'll pick somebody else.
That's a good thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you stuck with us this long, please hit that subscribe button. Share us with your friends and family. This episode was pretty funny towards the end there with Doughboy's more kink inside of him. I don't even know what to call it anymore. He's his own person. Very special and near to everyone. But, like I said, at the end of the day, be a better man. Treat your neighbors, friends, your family with love and care. Tell them you love them. Always, always go one up yourself. Peace.